I have a new mic. I did decide to get a lapel mic, although I wanted the, was it like the little Rode Go, little compact ones, but I don't have $200 right now. So I bought this little $25 one. I think it's called like Purple Panda is the brand. So hopefully it sounds okay. I mean, it sounds okay when I listen back to it like through camera because I tested to make sure it worked because it's specifically for smartphones, but it comes with the adapter for, you know, cameras and stuff. So we're hoping. Anyways, I want to do what's in my camera bag. So the only issue is that I'm not a professional videographer or photographer. So when I set this up, I kind of set it up as if I'm going to be doing one or the other or potentially both. So it's very full. The only difference from most is that I don't have two cameras, so I just filled the compartment where the camera would go with other stuff that I would probably just layer on top anyways, because I gotta film. And I would have a top-down shot with my iPhone, but I literally cannot find the adapter to hold my phone. I don't know what I did with it, because I put it back in the same spot. Well, after I did a how I film my videos thing, I somehow lost the adapter. So it's in this room, just don't know where. Anyways, let's get to it. This is my Brevite bag. I did do a little unboxing, which I'll link, I think it's over here. We'll link over here. What I do like about this, right off the bat, is that it does have the little storage compartment right here. Well, not storage, but like a handle compartment thing. So you can put this onto a suitcase if you're traveling on a plane or something. That's one of the main things I bought it for. The only downside is this is definitely more of an everyday type bag. I don't think you would want to take this on a long-term type thing unless you have, like, you know, a bigger suitcase to just throw this in or something. I don't know. So let's just get to it. The first things first, because it's like stuffed in here, is in the back you do have a lovely laptop compartment here. It's supposed to hold up to a 15-inch computer, which means my 16-inch barely fits. So I have my 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro here. This is kind of the same dimensions, or very close to it, of the 15-inch MacBook it did, you know, replace. So it just barely fits, which stinks. Where this is also thinner than the new 16-inch. I don't think the new 16-inch is going to fit in this bag, honestly. I don't see it. It's too thick in my opinion. However, if you got a 14, I think that would fit just fine. My Razor Blade 15 does fit okay, but barely. And this is just slightly wider, so I think, well, wider like this way when you have it vertically. It's a little taller. So I think you're kind of pushing it with this bag in terms of what you can fit in the laptop. If you use a tablet or something, be just fine. That's the first item we got going on in here. And then while we're in the back, I do have a lovely little hidden compartment, which I love, right back here, so it's against your back. Because when I'm traveling, I usually put my wallet in a non-easy accessible place, especially if I'm not intending to use it. So this is a great place to put it, because I have just a card wallet, so if this gets taken out of my pocket, I'm not gonna notice if they're really good at pickpocketing, because it's very light, very tiny, just holds my license, my 2 credit cards, a debit card, and my AAA card. So when I'm traveling, I just pop it in there. Even if I'm just like doing a little day trip for shooting a video or something, I'm just gonna pop it in there, so I don't think about it. You can probably fit a bit more in here, like I could probably put my car keys in here, but I think just my wallet's fine, just to keep my actual pockets empty. So that's the first thing that's going on. I'm gonna just shove it back in there so I don't somehow lose my wallet. On the side, I do have my water bottle. So this can also be used for a tripod. I just use it for a water bottle. It does have an expandable cord strap, not elastic, so it is like you have to actually strap it in. I do have it kind of loose just because like I just threw my water bottle in there. But it does unhook. So, you know, you can kind of fit whatever you need to in here. And it does expand because my water bottle is a chunky boy. So it does have, don't know how you can see this. Pull this back. But you do have some elastic to expand right there, which I love. All right, let me like pop it over to here, onto the front. Let's start up here because it's bulging. So there's there's one big pocket in here, and then there's one actually on here. So let's go on this part just so I can empty it out, because it's a bulging. So up top, since we are still in a pandemic, of course this came undone, that's okay. Pandemic, I still have a mask for if I go anywhere where there might be people. I have my 2nd gen AirPods, just a little Digivice case from Amazon, because if I'm shooting video or yeah, mostly video, I can just kind of import the stuff to my computer and then pop in my earbuds so I can hear it that way. I also have my keys up here to my lovely new Ford Bronco Sport. I love it to death right now, which is great because that kind of changes what I had in here that I wouldn't have been putting in here before if I was just going to do a quick video or shoot some pictures or something. So that's kind of exciting. So typically this has 2 little latches depending on how much you have in this inner compartment. I had it up here, but because I don't have enough to kind of hold it in place, it came undone. But it just kind of slips in and then you pull it down, pull it out. So I do love that. So you can have it all the way down, which just can't reach because there's too much stuff in here, or have it a little higher. This does come like on a regular zip backpack style, but I didn't really like that. But up top, I have a pair of sunglasses, because even though it's winter where I am, still important to have sunglasses, which I'll throw on because they're my crazy ones, which is why I love them. These are from Zenny, and I love them very much. I have it on the inside, it is a gray, and then on the outside, I think these are the red. Yep, like a fiery red-orange. So, you know, I just look like a... I hit my mic, I'm so sorry. So I look like a crazy person, maybe, but it's fine. I love these glasses. I have worn them all like once out so far because I just haven't really gone anywhere, obviously. But yeah, so I throw some sunglasses in there. If it's not sunny or not going to be sunny, I'm not going to throw them in, but you know, just so I have them. My mic's still in place. All right, and then because it is winter, and obviously camera, I do have some fingerless gloves that do convert into like a little mitten. These are from UGG. I did not pay full price. I got these like TJ Maxx for I think $15. I did look them up, and they're normally like 100 or something, or were when they were out. I do like them. They're not the best, obviously, if you're shooting, because if it's cold enough, your fingers are gonna be cold. But I don't feel like dropping $80 on some nice like quality leather gloves at the little fingertip that come off. It's too expensive for me. And again, I'm not making money off this, so I'm not gonna do that. And then of course, I also got a scarf, because, you know, winter. I kind of just use this upper compartment for just random things, so like winter clothing. And then I do have some power bricks up in here, because this is where my Ford Bronco changes things for me. So the first I have is my little Anchor. I think this is the PowerPort 2 with Quick Charge 3.0 from Anchor. I got this a couple years ago. I think I got it in the clearance section of Walmart. Yeah, like I think I paid a good $10 for it, and I've been using it ever since. It's just 2 USB ports. One's the Quick Charge 3, and then one's just the intelligent charging. And I love this. I use it actually when I am streaming to power my iSkylar, because the iSkylar just came with a USB cord, so I just plug it into this boy, plug that into an outlet, and then proper powering. This also gets used around my house a lot when I'm just charging like my phone or my friend's phone or something, so it's 2 USB ports, plugs into a wall. I have a bunch of long cords, so it's perfect for that. And then I also, of course, have my charging brick for my laptop, USB-C. And this is the, 96 watt. So the reason why my Bronco changes the fact that I can bring these now is that I have a household outlet in my Bronco. It is, I actually looked it up, it's 150 watts, which is great because it means I can plug one of these in, charge what I gotta charge. I do have USB ports as well. I have 3 USB-A and 3 USB-C ports in my car, but obviously those are for very low charging, like a phone or something, not a full computer. Otherwise I could just plug in USB-C. I guess if my laptop's off it could charge, but it's gonna take hours opposed to maybe like, what, 2 hours I think it's full. Maybe it would take like 6. Not looking to do that. So we got those up in there. And that's it for that. So here's what I'll show you. I can just, here's what it is flat. Just hook it right in there. All right, let's go to the fun stuff, the inside here. So let's start with this compartment in the front. So this is 2 compartments. So my first one's kind of like all my wires and stuff. So I got my USB-C to USB-C for my laptop, which I may use for my computer if I'm also using my camera. So I can hook it into my camera for like live viewing and stuff, whether I'm shooting video or photo. And then got my ND filter, obviously very useful if it's too bright out. Oh, we gotta have a external battery pack. So in case I just need to charge like my phone or something, and I don't want to plug it into my car or leave it in my car, I can have this plugged into my bag, just plop it in there. We also got a USB hub for my laptop, because obviously the 2019 only has USB-C. So this is just this Hutu is the brand. It's 3 USB-A and an SD card slot, and it has HDMI, which I believe supports 4K at 60 hertz, and then just a little DC in for USB-C. So you can at least be charging while also using this. So it's kind of helpful to be able to put power into it, so it's not just purely running off the laptop. I do have a little pocket knife, which I got for unboxing originally, but still kind of useful because it has the little window breaker, has a seatbelt breaker, and then just regular old blade. It's not that great, I'll be honest. I didn't pay a lot for it, so that's fine. But the blade is just so, everything sticks to it so badly, especially tape. But it looks pretty, so, you know, it does what it needs to do for me. But I definitely would bring it along just in case, because you just never know. You never know. What else do we got? I think we moved on to, oh, I do have my external SSD, so I use this for editing. I will also use it to store pictures on when I'm editing pictures as well, just because my MacBook only has a 512 hard drive, or rather SSD. So I kind of want to use all external just so I don't, you know, live off my computer, because every time I do that, I'll forget to back things up, and then I'll be mad at myself. So we're not going to do that. Because of that, I of course have a USB-C to USB-C cable, because this is the T7, so this can go up to, I believe, 1050 read and like 1000 write. So want USB-C to USB-C to get the full power out of that. I do have a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. I actually don't know why I put this in here. I think my thought is if I was charging my MacBook with its regular cable, I would use this for my camera and just plug it into the adapter. But usually it's just for streaming, so I don't know why I put that in there, but I guess that's what I could be doing. Oh, you know why? I can charge it through USB-C, because I can plug this in. That's right, the camera can charge with this through USB-C. That's why. Oh, what else we got? Cable for my phone and my AirPods. Just lightning to USB. I do have the USB-C cable that came with my phone, but I still have that sitting in the box because I tend to resell my phone, so I leave unused accessories in there because it's just easier to sell. And that's everything in that compartment. It's a decent size, like you can fit a good amount in here, but I will say just be careful when you do fill it up. All right, here's the hard part. So this is the inner compartment, which you can also open from the side if you want like quick access to your camera. So here's what it looks like without my camera in there. Not the greatest view, gonna be honest. But ooh, getting stuck. All right, so where I would have my camera, I kind of stuffed my Peak Design camera strap, which I do love when taking photos. I am one of those, I will use the camera strap just because that's the quick release with the little tab boys. But I am a person that does want to have this on. Like, I don't trust myself to not drop my camera, but also I can use it just to, you know, carry on my shoulder, because it does the longer one, so I can just, you know, carry it on my shoulder. I do like that. Works pretty well. I didn't personally buy this, it came with my camera because I bought my camera used off Swappa, and they just happened to have a Peak Design strap. They also gave me a Peak Design base, like a quick release base, so you can hook it on to like your backpack strap or something, which is kind of nice. I also got a microfiber cloth, so I can wipe off my, like, outside the lens or my phone or the back of the screen, that kind of thing. MacBook, it's just multi-purpose there. ND filter, that's a good one to clean off. We do have a spare lens, which I showed off before. So this is the Samyang 24 Prime 2.8, just a little boy. Yeah, I just really want a little bit of a wider angle because I just have otherwise the kit lens, which is the 28 to 70, 3.5 to 5.6, standard Sony lens. Woo! Yeah, that's the problem that the cap comes off because for some reason this has a Tamron bottom, no clue why. But I bought this used on eBay for like half the price it normally is, so I'm really not going to complain. A lot of my gear is secondhand just because it's just more economical for me. So we also have my selfie mirror. I have shown this off before. So if I'm filming a video and like not a sit down video and I'm like walking around, obviously gonna have this so I can see myself. And in the same vein, we're gonna have obviously my mic on top, which I can put on top of my selfie mirror. And then a Joby Gorilla Pod to hold the camera. And that's everything in here. You know, a lot of stuff. Honestly, this fits a good amount of stuff, and you can organize this to better suit you because these all are Velcroed. Just like the inner compartment in here is also Velcroed. There's actually a little flap back here you can pull down. So if you want to use this just as a regular backpack, you can rip this out, put down the flap, or I guess put up. I think it Velcros upwards. And then you just have like a book bag type thing going on. In which case, I think the MacBook would fit a little better because when you do have this very full, the laptop compartment is being pushed out, so you do lose space. So that is one issue I have with this bag, is you just lose space. But yeah, that's everything.